The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with thousands of True School Sports subscribers. So it's a sunny day here in South Florida. Right now I'm in Hollywood. I ain't in North Miami. I ain't in Dania. I'm in Hollywood right now, patrolling the streets right now. But, you know, had a long day in the gym today. Did about 13 rounds on the bag, 6 rounds jump roping, 4 rounds shadow boxing. So we're getting back to it. You know, shout out to Jeff Ports, Beta Bay Boxing. That's why I train at. But what I wanted to talk about in this particular video was I had a chance to finally sit down after weeks and being behind on some fights and missing some fights. I had a chance to finally sit down and watch the IBF lightweight title eliminator between George Kambosos Jr. and Lee Selby. And it was a good fight. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good, exciting chess match. That's how I would describe it. For me, it was exciting. I thought it was a good fight. You had the naturally smaller fighter in Selby in the latter stages of his career. You know, I think he's about 33 years old. Very mobile, moves well, boxes well. You know, good, solid fighter. You know, had that good win over Stephen Smith for the British title when he was down at I think he was at featherweight. Was he a featherweight or super featherweight? I can't remember what weight class it was at, but he beat Stephen Smith for the British title. So he's a good boxer, you know, good boxer. It was a good test for Kambosos in terms of could he be able to thwart and stop and neutralize the very mobile Lee Selby. And to be honest with you, like I said in one of my previous videos where I was talking about the dark horse of the lightweight division, George Kambosos, while I know he's a solid fighter, and I know he was Manny Pacquiao's sparring partner, I'm still not too familiar with him. So this is really my first time getting a chance to sink my teeth in and absorb what exactly George Kambosos Jr. is bringing to the table. You know, admittedly, I still got to go back and watch some more of his older fights, but I had a chance to watch this one. And here's my assessment of the fight. So when we talk about Kambosos, you know, stylistically speaking, in terms of what he does good in that boxing ring, one thing that sticks out about George to me when I watch a fight, it jumps off the page. It jumps off the page with George. Best thing George Kambosos has in his arsenal are intelligent feet. He's got intelligent feet. And you're gonna ask, BT, what do you mean by intelligent feet? Well, there's fast feet and there's athletic feet, but then there's intelligent feet. When I say George Kambosos has intelligent feet, what I mean is he's good at knowing where he's at in the ring. He's good at being in position to land whatever punch it is he's trying to throw, whether it be a straight jab, an up jab, a right hand to the stomach, a right hand to the head. You know, he's got a good sense of positioning. So I really like that about George Kambosos. Now, in this particular fight with Lee Selby, I was very disappointed with the British commentary. The British commentary was trash. You know, you had them talking about Lee Selby, who was winning the fight wide, like 8-2 or whatever it was, going into like the 10th round, and they thought he won the fight pretty wide, which I thought was crazy because when you go and you watch the fight and you pay attention to who's landing the clear shots, when you pay attention to who's doing what, you know, Lee Selby is mobile, but a lot of these punches he's throwing are falling short. George is slipping them, making a miss by inches, and George is landing good hard counters. And then in that fight, whenever they're exchanging, George is the one landing the better shots in the exchanges, whether it be with the right hand, a regular jab, shotgun jab. He's using all kinds of jabs and counters to the head and to the body. He's showing versatility with the counters, with the power counter punches, you know. And I thought he won the fight pretty easy. I didn't score it, but I don't see how you could give Lee Selby more than 4 rounds if you really want to get generous, to be honest with you. And I don't think it was a robbery. And I thought it was a good performance from George Kambosos. So now that he won that fight, he's the IBF mandatory for Teofimo Lopez. And this is the part of the video where I tell you about how I think he matches up with Teofimo Lopez. Because before this fight, not knowing much about George and only seeing bits and pieces of the Lee Selby fight, when people were asking me, what do you think about Kambosos Teofimo, I said to myself, that's not even a competitive fight. You know, you know, Teofimo's gonna walk right through him. He's a better fighter. He's more versatile. All these things. But after getting a better feel for George and what he does well in that ring, I think that fight is more competitive than people think, because of the fact that George has a good understanding of distance, timing. He's not afraid to go in there and exchange. He believes in himself. You know, talking to everybody here in South Florida who sparred with him or worked with him, the impression I get about George Kambosos is that he is an alpha male. He's an alpha male. And you're going to need to be an alpha male when you're going in there with a guy like Teofimo Lopez. Now, I'm still favoring Teofimo Lopez. I just think, based on what I saw, that while George has a good sense of distance and timing, I feel like Teofimo Lopez has a better sense of distance and timing. If they want to get into a chess match and box, I mean, we saw Teofimo Lopez go in there and outbox one of the best technical fighters in the sport, in the history of the sport, really, in Vasily Lomachenko. So I feel like whatever George brings to the table against Teo, Teo will have an answer for it, but I wouldn't write him off because of the fact that he's a smart fighter. He's got good pedigree. He's, you know, regular sparring partner for Manny Pacquiao. But the thing is about George, right? Because you could be a sparring partner. You could be a high-level sparring partner. You could do hundreds and thousands of rounds with guys like Manny Pacquiao. But the problem with guys like that sometimes is that when they get into these fights, their own fights, they have that sparring partner mentality. So from watching George, from seeing training videos, highlights, the Selby fight, getting to know a little bit about him through people I know mutually here in the South Florida area, he's not someone that strikes me as, you know, a guy with a sparring partner mentality. You know, he's not going to get hit by one right hand and go into survival mode for the whole fight. And I think the Teofimo Lopez fight will be very entertaining. I think, like, if that fight is to get made, obviously it's not the top fight I want to see. I'd rather see Teofimo Lopez fight, you know, Devin Haney or a Lomachenko rematch, or go up to 140 and fight Lopez Ramirez. I honestly, I would even like to see Teofimo Lopez fight Jose Zepeda more than I would Kambosos. No disrespect to Kambosos. But he wants to fight. He's calling for it. You know, he believes he can win. And if it gets made, I think the way that fight will play out is Teofimo Lopez probably get a late round stoppage. You know, it'll be a good chess match for about 5 to 7 rounds. And then someone's going to land a big shot around the 8th or 9th round. And someone's going to get knocked out. And I think that if that was to happen, it'd probably be George. But I will say, from what I've heard about George Kambosos and from what the little bit of pieces I saw about him, I was really impressed with his understanding of distance and his technical boxing skills. You know, because he was showing in that Selby fight, he showed all kinds of different looks. You know, he showed the ability to land a regular jab, the up jab, the counter right hand to the head, the lead right hand to the head, the straight right hand to the body, the left hook to the body, the left hook to the head. He has a good array of punches, and I would write him off against Teofimo. So, like, people out there that don't really know him or haven't taken the time to digest his fighting style or look at his career, you know, George Kambosos, you know, he'll be someone that gives Teofimo Lopez a good fight. I think it'd be an entertaining fight for ESPN and Top Rank and all parties involved. And that's what it is. So that's my take on George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez. I would like to, if George can't get a Teofimo fight, I would like to see him step up in class even more, because I feel like the gap between Selby and Teofimo is too big to be stepping up. I would like to see him in there like a Comey or like a Verdejo. I think that'd be a good technical fight right there. Verdejo, an aggressive technical fight where someone eventually gets knocked out would be Verdejo versus Kambosos Jr. So maybe Verdejo, Comey, Nakatani, if you know they still want to use him as an opponent, that'd be a good fight. There's fights out there for Kambosos in the lightweight division, and you know I think he's got the technical skills and the ability. Not right now. I don't think it'll be Teofimo Lopez right now. I just don't think that's going to happen for him. But maybe later on in the future, I could see him getting a world title and become a world champion, because he's a good fighter. But leave your comments down below. What do you guys make of George Kambosos taking on Teofimo Lopez, because he is, after all, the IBF #1 contender. I believe he's the mandatory as well. So it is a fight we might see, and I'd like to know from anybody out there in Australia or Greece, George Kambosos supporters, you know, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania, patrolling the streets of Hollywood. And until next time, take care, guys.